Hello, fiber friends. One of the best things I did for myself this year was to go through everything and find the projects that I had completely forgotten about. This is one that I had completely forgotten about. So let's take a little time travel back a month or two and see what happened when I found it in this bag. I actually didn't realize I had so many bobbins going on here, and I don't remember what I was doing with this. Like, was I doing a cable? Is that, so it looks like this has this like burgundy red color on it, so I'm guessing that that is this. So also this is often how I will keep my roving organized, or comb top. This is comb top. I will kind of, you know, just sort of finger chain it up and then leave the tail that I'm working from out, or I'll put a little knot in the end if it gets too short to do this with, so that especially if there's a color progression, I don't get confused and I know which end I'm supposed to start with. So if I look at this, these colors line up, see, and then it goes blue and then pink and then kind of blue, blue, pink, kind of blue. This matches what's already on here and the start of this. I do not know if these two match each other. I don't know what my plan was. Since I had a piece of wool on a bobbin partway through, I finished spinning that one, and so that one is finished with these two bobbins. And I still have this wool left to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up another bobbin right now. What I'm spinning with has been upgraded to a Nano 2 with the kit from Dreaming Robots to do that. So I still have some of the Nano 1 stuff, but overall this is actually a Nano 2 because the motor of it, the plug-in, the guts of it is all Nano 2. I noticed something right away when I finished spinning this bobbin, and that is that color-wise, it looks very much like this bobbin. I've got all these blues and purples on the top. So here's my brilliant idea. Clearly I had some sort of color plan because I rarely just divide something up and spin it. Although that could be a possibility for this project because it has no notes, I didn't record it, I was probably just chilling out. I have vague memories of this. It's not like a total blackout situation. Don't be concerned, it's okay. I just don't remember what my plan was. That's all. What I'm going to do is spin the rest of this, and then I will take everything off of these bobbins onto like weaving bobbins or storage bobbins or something like that, and then I'll be able to take notes as I wind them off and see what the color pattern repeat is, so that I can figure out if this had some sort of color work plan or if it's just random, or whether it did or didn't. Maybe there's something interesting that we could do with it now, but we still have to know the order of colors to figure that out. When I spin this, am I going to do a standard 4-ply, or am I going to do a cable ply? I hope that you can understand the difference by my little hand gestures here, and I hope I'm not unwittingly making a bad hand gesture. If I am, I don't know it and I'm sorry. So, the difference, a 4-ply just standard 4-ply, that's 4 bobbins get twisted together onto 1 bobbin, versus a cable ply, which is where you take 2 strands and ply them, and then 2 strands and ply them, and then you ply those together the other way. So there's more steps in the process, but it has a really cool look. I am leaning towards a regular schmegular 4-ply, and here's why. I think that 4-ply doesn't get enough love. I think there's a couple reasons for that. I think that it requires a lot of bobbins that most standard wheel packages don't come with. And if you're using spindles, it's extra steps of yarn management to be able to ply with 4 strands coming together. Whether that's, you know, if you only have 1 bobbin, then you're putting it into center pole balls 4 times. That's a lot of stuff coming together that can get tangled. 4 bobbins is a lot easier. I see people tending towards 2-ply, and if they do a 3-ply, oftentimes it's going to be a chain ply and not a standard 3 bobbin, right? It's 1 strand that's looped back on itself and twisted like a long crochet chain. Those are both fine. Nothing wrong with either one. I think that there is a spending of time into the ways that make the item more durable, because if people are using it as a regular daily item, it needs to hold up. And if all of your time and effort has gone into making that item, you want it to hold up at least for as long as it takes to make another one, right? So there's a durability aspect in there. I am playing with 4-plies lately. I have all of these carded up from my other carding milk video, and I still have more to go, but I think I'm about halfway through, and I've been spinning it. I've also been sampling it. So I have, this was what I ended up with to try for a sample, and then this is my swatch that has been just knitted. It's just stockinette, and look at the drape. I was about to say, it has the most incredible drape. It's been knitted up and it's been washed and blocked. You'll see that there's a stripe in the middle, and the stripe is like a texture stripe. You can see it right there. That is where I tried for just a moment to switch grooves in my whorl. And I didn't like it, so I switched it back, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna see that. It's gonna pop up in the end, and it sure did. So, look at the drape though. That's incredible. I can't wait. This is gonna be the most amazing project. This project is going to be the Rockhound vest from Wool and Pine, and that has a lot of cables, and I wanted the 4-ply because I think it makes the cables really stand up, because when you're working with the round yarn being twisted back and forth, right, and you've got like a big round thing to stack, if it's a 2-ply, it's like flat, sort of. I mean, it's twisted, but you can see like the bumps on it, and that's because at every point from a different angle, it's kind of got like flat sides. I'm sure there are some very experienced knitters out there who have knitted with different yarns, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Different yarns behave differently in different types of patterns. Some look great for lace, some look great for cables, some look different, but it's how you want it, so you use it for whatever. This is a 4-ply, and you can see how the different colors come together. I had another one. This was Mark's socks. And you can see how the different colors kind of come together. And I think it's really pretty. I guess I need to know what colors I'm working with. I think I figured it out. If I have lots of different colors, 4-ply. And then if it turns out that they're all like the exact same colors, maybe a cable. Let's figure it out. Where are you? Number 3. Okay, here are the first 3. And the last one is still on the nano, so we're gonna get that one off. And I have brought out my Shacked Lazy Kate. We're gonna use that because it has tension on it, and that makes this really much more convenient. Pop this back in the bag and get the bag out of the way. What I'm gonna do to get all the yarn off of these is wind it onto a weaving bobbin, which I think it might fit. You know what I just realized with all 4 of them laid out? I think these are gonna match, and I think these are gonna match. That's what I think. But I guess let's find out. We've come this far. Here we go. There's like a really rich purple and green coming out. It's so pretty. Look how pretty that is. They're not exactly the same, but they're very, 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 very close. But I'm gonna have to make sure I keep these straight. These two look really similar. This is wild. I don't understand it at all. Having these all wound up like this is very satisfying. And I kind of like just looking at them. I have a the vaguest of was it a dream or was it real life memories. And I think what my plan was a cable plied yarn, and I was going to do the matching colors. There was two that matched and two that matched, and I was going to take one of each set and do those together as the initial ply. So both two plies would have the same color progressions, even though they would be candy striping because they weren't the same colors. I hope you're following. And then I was going to take those two plies to ply together the other way and create a cabled yarn. That sounds fun, and like I've come this far, I feel like I should see it through. But there's another part of me that just wants to make a beautiful, straight up 4-ply yarn. I think that 4-ply deserves a little justice in the spinning community. I think we've been ignoring it. I think if we do a 4-ply, we do the cousin of the 4-ply, which is the cable, which is really 2-plying 3 times. It's not controlling 4 strands coming into one yarn at the same time. And I think there's something beautiful about just a straight up standard 4-ply yarn. I put these 3 bobbins on my Lazy Kate because this is the easiest way to ply it. It's not going to stay tensioned because those are, I'm sure, going to slide around real quick. I have 4 though, and they don't all fit. So I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to toss it and let it bounce around in the nano bag while I spin. It'll at least keep them from being tangled up. Here's my setup down here with all the strands coming off the different bobbins. It's a lot to keep track of, but it's not too much to keep track of. Since these bobbins have been sitting for I don't know how long, like probably a year, I'm not going to do a ply back test to see if it has enough twist in it, because I'm sure a lot of the twist energy has relaxed out of it already. I'm kind of going by feel. I'm getting the rhythm for it. That feels good. Look how round that is. Like, it's just, that just looks so lovely. A couple things. You want all 4 of the strands coming in together at the exact same spot. If I get 2 strands that are twisted closer up to my fingers. See how this twist has come up into these two? I am going to stop and fix that, because if they aren't all coming together at the same point, what can happen is you can get one or two that kind of spiral around the other ones. And because I'm trying to just do a standard traditional 4-ply, I'm not looking for those kinds of texture effects. Okay, this is where it starts to get fun, because we're about to get some color change. At the beginning, when the yarn is just starting to get on the bobbin, you have to change it. Change hooks all the time, and I don't want to. I just want to ply and watch these colors. Here's another little tip. I don't know if you can tell, right here it got a little bit, the twist is smooshed together more than over here. How can that happen? How can that be? Twist goes to the low points. Well, it also will go here if you accidentally push some of it together. Can you see where I smooshed it together? That's where I held some of the strands with more tension and some with less, and then when I was pulling it out of my hand towards the wheel, some of them smooshed up. So let's undo both of those, the accident and the demo. To fix this, I'm going to untwist it, just kind of manually here. And it will build up the twist over here, but that won't matter. It'll be fine in just a second. And if it's too hard to untwist, I can pull some out of the bobbin. So there, now the part that was built up too much doesn't have twist, and now this twist is too much, so I'm just gonna slide my hand back, and I'm filming myself, so I hope you all can forgive me. I don't have a camera person here to help, and I can't change the camera. So what I'm doing is just sliding my hand back to spread that twist out. I didn't want to put it on the wheel and then slide back, because I wanted that to distribute, not get put on the bobbin. So, okay, that was a huge explanation to say feed everything towards the wheel at the same tension. I don't know if this is helpful to anyone, or if you're just like, Evie, get on with it. Let's see that yarn already. I don't know. I hope someone's getting a good tip out of this. Let me know if you've gotten any kind of tip out of this video. Tell me what it is. Tell me what you're gonna try or not do. Try to not do. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Friends, I think I'm managing to accidentally dupe Croy sock. It's almost the same twist angle. Like when you look at the, yeah, look at that. Look at that. You can draw a line across the color of it, and that's how you can see the twist angle. And it just lines right up. I don't know if it'll line up after it's washed, but I think I accidentally just duped Croy socks. Oh, sorry, patents. Oops. When you have this much color coming into play, you have to be careful, because it can get real muddy and muddled real fast. This has green and this like burgundy pink and yellow. So it's kind of giving brown when it's spinning around. If you stop and look at it, you can look up close and see there's different colors, but it's kind of, even if you look at the wheel, it's moving really fast, so you can't distinguish the different strands, and it just looks kind of greenish brown. But once we transition to some different colors, that's all gonna change. And it's interesting because of just how much the way you spin and then ply can affect how the colors combine. You know, that's part of the fun of spinning, is being able to control the color. And I was a little worried about this one when I saw it go from purple to these really intense greens and these burgundies. I do know that we will get to purple once we get past the greens. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. This is the one thing I don't like about a 4-ply. Something always runs out way sooner than the rest of them do. I am going to get to the end of this, tie a little knot in the yarn, and then keep plying, because then we'll have a 3-ply with the same fiber, and we'll be able to compare the 4 and the 3 and see if 4 is really special or if it's just extra work. Now I'm down to 3, and it's like so much easier to manage. Okay, now on this side of everything, I'm loving it. It's so purple. I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'll show you when it's off the bobbin and you can see it, because this is cool. This color, all this figuring out color, so cool.